Hey everybody, this is Mike with Gaming Hobbyist. This is part 2 of the 69 pack opening of Throne of Eldraine. Jump right into it. We've got Fierce Witch Stalker, Malevolent Noble, Youthful Knight, Garenbrig Paladin, Gingerbread Cabin, Fireborn Knight, Sage of the Falls, and the rare is Oathsworn Knight. Oathsworn Knight enters the battlefield with 4+1/+1 counters on it. Oathsworn Knight attacks each combat if able. If damage would be dealt to Oathsworn Knight while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove a +1/+1 counter from it. We've got Outflank, Shining Armor, Queen of Ice, Foreboding Fruit, Thrill of Possibility, Uncommon Wildcard, Oakheim Ranger, and the rare is Wishclaw Talisman. Wishclaw Talisman enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Spend 1 and tap it. Remove a wish counter from Wishclaw Talisman. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. An opponent gains control of Wishborn Talisman. Activate this ability only during your turn. Alright. We've got Lash of Thorns, Return to Nature, Silver Flame Ritual, Charmed Sleep, Mantle of Tides, Mad Ratter, Skullknocker Ogre, and the rare is a rare wild card. I need more of those. We've got Tall as a Beanstalk, Fierce Witch Stalker, Flutter Fox, Merchant of Vale, Common Wildcard, Giant Opportunity, Skullknocker Ogre, and the rare is Gilded Goose. It's a creature bird, 1 to cast, 0/2 flying creature. When Gilded Goose enters the battlefield, create a food token. Spend a green and a colorless, tap it, create a food token. Or simply tap it, sacrifice a food, add 1 mana of any color. Alright, next one. Ardenvale Tactician, Crystal Slipper, Return to Nature, Silver Flame Squire. We've got Game Lag. Weaselback Redcap, Resolute Rider is the uncommon, and also Mystical Dispute. And the rare is a mythic rare, the Magic Mirror. Holy cow. 9 to cast. It's a legendary artifact. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. Then draw a card for each knowledge counter on Magic Mirror. Oh, I like it. Except for the giant casting cost. Commons, we've got Beloved Princess, Lonesome Unicorn, Bartered Cow, True Love's Kiss, Merfolk Secret Keeper, Arcanist's Owl, Archon of Absolution, and the rare is Fervent Champion. 1 red is a 1/1 first strike haste human knight creature. Whenever Fervent Champion attacks, another target attacking knight you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion costs 3 less to activate. Okay. Pretty good little creature there. Commons, we've got Sporecap Spider, Silver Flame Squire, Garenbrig Carver, Unexplained Vision, Prophet of the Peak. We have a uncommon wild card, Sire Farron, the Henge Hammer. And the rare is Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig. He's a legendary creature, giant noble. 3 to cast, 3 green, 0/0. Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. Then, if that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's power, put another +1/+1 counter on Yorvo. This is pretty good for a green deck. Alright. We've got Tall as a Beanstalk, Ogre Errant, Garenbrig Squire, Signpost Scarecrow, a common wild card, all that glitters, Covetous Urge, and the rare is Torbrand, Thane of Red Fell. 3 red and a colorless. He's a 2/4 creature. If a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +2 instead. Okay. We've got Queen of Ice, Fairy Guidemother, Ardenvale Paladin, Scorching Dragonfire, Wishful Merfolk. We've got an uncommon wild card, Deafening Silence, and the rare, mythic rare, Rankle, Master of Pranks. He's a 3/3 flying haste legendary creature. Whenever Rankle, Master of Pranks deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. You can do any of those. Each player discards a card. Each player loses 1 life and draws a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. Okay. Okay, we've got Embereth Paladin, Trapped in the Tower, Roving Keep, 7 Dwarves, a common wild card, Into the Story, Claim the Firstborn, and the rare, Stonecoil Serpent. It's a 0/0 with X casting cost. It's got Reach, Trample, Protection from Multicolored. Stonecoil Serpent enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. I like this card. We've got Witch's Cottage, Roving Keep. Got that one on the last pack. We've got Fairy Guidemother, Lost Legion, Lash of Thorns, Oakhame Adversary, Wintermoor Commander, and the rare, Midnight Clock. 3 to cast. It's an artifact. Tap it to add blue, or spend 2 colorless and a blue. Put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. When the 12th hour counter is put on Midnight Clock, shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards. Exile Midnight Clock. Okay. Not terrible. It'll take a while to get there. Next. Brimstone Trebuchet, Corridor Monitor. Shining Armor, Ardenvale Paladin, Common Wildcard, Venerable Knight, Order of Midnight, and the rare is Once Upon a Time. 2 to cast, instant. If this spell is the first spell you've cast this game, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Alright, next pack we've got Crystal Slipper, Redcap Raiders, Rosethorn Acolyte, Fling, Lonesome Unicorn, Oakham Ranger, Sire Conrad the Grim, and the rare is Midnight Clock. Alright, 2 in a row. Garenbrig Carver, Tuinvale Treefolk, Youthful Knight, Dwarven Mine, Ardenvale Tactician, Uncommon Wildcard, Marleaf Pixie, and the rare is Clackbridge Troll. We got 2 of those in the last video. Next, Crashing Drawbridge, Lonesome Unicorn, Fling, Didn't Say Please, Signpost Scarecrow, Sorcerer's Broom, Cauldron Familiar, and the rare is Linden, the Steadfast Queen. Legendary creature, 3/3 with Vigilance, 3 white to cast. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, gain 1 life. I think we got that earlier as well. Alright, next one. Lonesome Unicorn, Signpost Scarecrow, Embereth Paladin, Corridor Monitor, Common Wildcard, Covetous Urge, Revenge of Ravens, and Yorov, Lord of Garenbrig. We got this one recently also. Next pack. Starting to see a lot of repeats. Mystic Sanctuary, Steelgaze Griffin, Tuinvale Treefolk, Dwarven Mine, Insatiable Appetite, Animating Fairy, Marleaf Pixie, and the rare Opportunistic Dragon. We've got Giant Skewer, Redcap Raiders, Silverflame Ritual, Thrill of Possibility, Fierce Witch Stalker, Sire Kara the Bold, I think that's my first one of that one, Giant Opportunity, it's my 3rd or 4th of that, the rare Escape to the Wilds, it's a sorcery, a green, red, and 3 colorless to cast. Exile the top 5 cards of your library. You may play cards exiled this way until the end of your next turn. You may play an additional land this turn. Okay, there we go. Embereth Paladin, Bake into Pie, Barge In, Scorching Dragonfire, a common wild card, Beanstalk Giant, Drown in the Lock, and rare Escape to the Wilds. Just got this one. Next one. Tomb Raider, Runaway Together, Tuinvale Treefolk, Signpost Scarecrow, Shining Armor, Uncommon Wildcard, Rally for the Throne, and the rare Dance of the Manse. It's a blue and a white and X to cast. Return up to X target artifact and or non-aura enchantment cards, each with converted mana cost X or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. If X is 6 or more, those permanents are 4/4 creatures in addition to their other types. Alright, next one. Alright, we've got Garenbrig Carver, Lost Legion, Vantress Paladin, Opt, Wishful Merfolk, Wandermare, Fairy Vandal, and the rare Lovestruck Beast. It's an adventure card. Creature is 3 to cast, a green and 2 colorless. Lovestruck Beast can't attack unless you control a 1/1 creature. Create the adventure is a sorcery, 1 to cast. Create a 1/1 white human creature token. Weaselback Redcap, Searing Barrage, Hengewalker, Rimrock Knight, Outflank, Revenge of Ravens, Into the Story, and rare is Emery, Lurker of the Loch. It's a legendary creature, a blue and 2 colorless to cast. She's a 1/2 creature. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. When Emery, Lurker of the Loch, enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Tap it, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. Alright, we've got Youthful Knight, Dwarven Mine, Unexplained Visions, Prophet of the Peak, Common Wildcard, Ferocity of the Wilds, Sire Eleonora the Discerning. It's like my 3rd one, at least, of that one. And the rare is Black Lance Paragon. I think I got this one recently. It's a 3/1 flash. When Black Lance Paragon enters the battlefield, target knight gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. Alright, I'm going to break here, and we'll make one more to open these last 23 packs. Thanks for joining me. This is Mike with Gaming Hobbyist.